All right, what's up, everybody? Super pumped about, I don't know, a new rebuild, I guess. It's been a minute since I've kind of really overhauled. I've just kind of been putting stuff on and kind of going just for like comfortability's sake, I guess, like just kind of putting everything on. And I'm to the point now where I really want to think about the setup again. And so we are going from the kind of conventional, I think this is like 22 inches by like 12 and a half, to something actually kind of different. I've never seen it like this. It's like if a Pedal Train Junior like was bigger, I guess. So this is like 17 and a half inches by 18 inches, I think. So it's almost like a square. So it's very different. It's not something I've done, but to me, it's reminiscent of an earlier board that I had many moons ago that I absolutely loved. And it was a Pedal Train Junior build. I loved how tight everything was. I loved how small it was. I like the ergonomics of it. And a lot of my best builds that have sounded great or played great have been on something kind of like this, more rectangular than anything. And you know, the problem I have with this is it's long enough where, yeah, you can get two pedals, but then you end up with like these weird gaps. I just don't like it. And kind of the reason I've wanted to do this is I have this pedal, this Warhorn by Walrus. I love this pedal. It was here, and I got this Bell Star from a Guitar Center for like $70, and I felt like it was a better second stage option than this was, but having this as like another drive, just a fun one to have in the mix. Another thing that I don't like about this board that does keep it organized, but I want to change, is in the bottom is where I've got all of my stuff. So I've got my canvas stereo, I've got my power, and I've got my little black buffer. Keeps it clean, but whenever there's an issue, one of my favorite builds outside of the Pedal Train Junior I told you about was just, I like having everything on top because it's easy to see everything. But I also don't necessarily want to go to a flatboard build and have to do all these crazy wirings. I was gonna go with one of the Elevation series by Creation, which is like a flatboard, but like it's lifted off the ground. So you can run cables under it, or like an Ojai if you got the Strymon power. But this was like literally $70 on Amazon with a bag and some random things like Velcro, which I'm not gonna use. But for $70, I mean, this thing is like pretty solid. So I'm excited to see how it goes. I think it'll look interesting, and I think I can get this thing pretty well stock full of pedals. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna cut to when all this is cleaned up and what we have to put on. I have been doing middle mounted volume for a minute, just as a way to kind of visualize two different sides of the board, maybe a drive section or a wet section. But I think I want to go back to a side mounted volume. I don't know why. It's been a minute. So the next thing is figuring out power. I have this tuner, which is pretty sweet. It's called the Rock Stock Nano. It's only a tuner. That is the that little light up area is the button. So it's great for like small places. So if we put that there, have our cables coming out. The next thing we would need to think about is DI. Now, an option I was wondering is where I play at church, where I plug in and where our XLRs are on the same side. And so I wondered if maybe not doing power left side with the stereo right there, but I also have to do the buffer. Can't forget the buffer. And then maybe because there's no plugs, I can do something like that. And then the nano can kind of squeeze in that spot right there. We're on to something. I think this is gonna work. I think I'm okay with this. Because then I have quick access to do my summing if I ever need to, which I do have to do sometimes. So that's quick right there. The first pedal though I go to is my bloom. So I want that relatively close to go from the buffer to the bloom compressor. I think I'm gonna put this one up here since I don't use it the most. I just want to have it on the board again and have that right there. We're already running out of space, so I may have to put stuff on the bottom, which is a good thing. This is a good problem. Let's figure out the wet stuff. So we're gonna put reverb here. Chorus we'll put up there. Yeah, guys, we might have to, we might be able to put this on the bottom and fill it up. Who knows? Which would be great, because I don't want to have the power up there. I mean, I want it up there for easy access, but I don't want it up there for just a clean board. Also, I kind of want to leave this spot open because I might switch to 2 Tonex minis. I don't know. We'll see. The great thing about this pedal though is that because it's top mounted cables, I can go pretty close to the volume there. And then I guess we just do first, second, third, and fourth stage. Do we even have enough room? I have always mounted this TMG drive sideways because I've never had a board. I just don't like that. But it's like, it's the perfect length if you do it like this. So I always end up mounting it like that. I gotta get a good look at it. I instantly love this. This feels so nice to me and symmetrical. Hold on, I gotta FaceTime Justin. I need your opinion.
Chris said your volume pedal looks like a Band-Aid.
That's what it is. It's a Band-Aid. It's like 17.5 by like 18.3.
Weird.
I know. It's $70 on Amazon. I was like, that's a weird shape, but I think I can get down with it.
Is it a far reach to the back row?
I mean, my whole foot takes up this. It's angled too.
The only thing you'll have to reach is the big sky.
Yeah. And it's angled. It's basically like a pedal train junior, but it's just larger than the juniors are. All right. I'll see you.
All right.
Bye. All right. So clearly he likes it. I like it. Now the only question is, I mean, as far as pedal dancing, right? The problem I don't really like, the DD500s are like angled here. So I'm going to be doing, I don't think that that's going to work actually. So like this, actually I probably would do this because I use these two the least. All right, well, I think we're gonna go with this. So I'm gonna cut to me getting everything Velcroed on and wired up. While I was in Guitar Center, I was perusing and I saw that they had something I've never seen before, and that is the Ernie Ball Volt right here. And what that is a 4, it has a pass-through, so it says 5, but really it's 4 9-volt, 300 milliamp isolated plugs with an included 18-volt DC adapter. But this one spot has an 18-volt out, and I tested it, it worked. So I'm basically using the 18-volt output of the one spot, coming over here, powering the volt, and then from that, I'm getting my 4 overdrives. Now I'm gonna do all the wiring, but everything's on. Looking forward to seeing how it sounds. So that's what you'll see next. All right, it is officially all done. Now you might notice something a little strange about the end of my chain. And yes, the ACS one is upside down. I just didn't have long enough cables. I was left with either these like 6 inchers and these that are like, I think maybe like 10 inches or 8, I don't know. These were just long enough if I flipped it around to where the output was going this way, not this way, I could do that. So soon, unless I just get lazy and forget to do it, I'll get new cables or something. So real quick, before we turn it on, the way that everything is set up, I got to figure out that too. The way it sits, like it's on an edge. So I got to like figure out how to take care of that. But guitar will plug in. It's backwards. Man, I'm just losing it today. That might, well, here we go. Live on the spot. Another mistake. Gonna go ahead and pop that one in since it's long enough. I'll just stuff it in there. Something like that, and then should be. I was wondering why the power was acting funny because it was. Anyway. So that's what that'll look like. There we go. Okay, that looks normal now. We'll plug into the JHS little black buffer. We'll go into... Y'all, what am I thinking? Basically what happened was I totally forgot to route the volume pedal into this. And the problem was I was only left with short cables. So what I did, if we're still gonna have to turn this thing around, I didn't use the longer ones, I used the shorter ones, so that looks ugly now. Definitely got to fix that. I had to end up keeping these things in the same line, but moving where they are. So really, we're going from here to here to here, then to the volume pedal, then to the chorus. So, as we were saying, into the JHS little black buffer, straight into the compressor, down to the Morning Glory, up to the Jackson Audio Bellstar, to the Walrus Audio Mayflower, TMG drive, Layla mono volume pedal, chorus, DD500, stereo to the Big Sky, stereo to the ACS1. Oh my gosh! Are we in luck? All right. As I was saying, stereo into the ACS1, stereo into the canvas. Whew. All right, now for the moment of truth. Okay. Everything appears to be turning on. That looks like a win. We're gonna plug it in and see how it sounds. All right. I think everything's gonna work. So everything's turned on, plugged in to the JHS little black buffer. Just to go over it again, buffer to the Jackson Audio Bloom, all of my drives, then to the volume. I just like that better. I like having the same sound of drive, and I'm just changing the volume of that. I don't want to change the input of the volume going into the overdrives. That's just how I like it. And then on that same topic, I like hitting my overdrives into the reverbs. That if I've got a lot of overdrive and a lot of output coming, I want that to change the dynamic of the verb. I'm used to it. All right, so straight out, just guitar. This is my Citizen Model CJ Pro with the Lambertone Cremas. And right now we're just hitting tone factor matchless and tone factor Benson. So I forget which side they're on, but that's what they are. Pretty hot. And then I always have my compressor on. Now I'm gonna have to do some adjusting on the spot because while putting all this back together, my fingers have definitely touched stuff. So we're going into the Morning Glory. This would be kind of like a somewhat of an always on, somewhat of a first stage. It changes kind of depending on the song, but I definitely want it to be a step above clean, but not something too dirty that I can't just leave it on if I need something to kind of color my tone a little bit. So I'm just gonna bring some stuff down. Another thing, I like all of my stuff to be at unity. That way if I hit it, it's relatively the same volume. Yeah, yeah, so that's probably where I would want it. And as we start building out the drive section, I'll know if I want to change this a little bit more, because I also want it to be something that can color other drives differently. So second stage, this is going to need a lot of work because I definitely see that I've touched it. We'll start here, kind my favorite overdrive as of late. I found it for like $70. It's like a full drive MOSFET, or the full tone MOSFET, whatever that pedal was. But I don't remember myself liking that drive. But that's also when I was really getting into overdrives and analog board stuff. And I feel like all I liked was tube screamers. I don't know. I mean, it sounds good now, but I love it. This thing kicks. And I like how it sounds going into the morning glory. All right, third stage. I haven't played this one in actually a very long time. All right, third stage, TMG drive. This one's gonna need some work. I know that this is weird. This one. So that's all the drives, and then we'll get into now the wetter stuff. Maxed out. We're playing Praise tomorrow. Oh, hold on. I gotta pull this up. Wait. There we go. All right, well that was fun. So definitely not going to run that chorus tone. And then as far as wet stuff, I have a couple things. So first, on my first bank, I run a quarter note with a little bit of modulation, and then a dotted eighth, Bethel came out with that song, Glory to Glory. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. Except I don't have a pitch shifter, so, you know, I can't really get it, but that's a fun one. And then I do have a couple of fun patches for delays. I've got like a dual delay, but we don't really actually run stereo in the house, so there's really no point in me playing with a dual delay. The live stream would hear it, it'd be in the stems, but I just haven't had a reason to use it yet. It's just that classic quarter on one side, dotted eighth on the other side. It's amazing when you can play in stereo. Just the wide image you get from this. I've got like a swell delay, that way if I am playing swells, I've just got something that rings out for a while and helps kind of sustain some stuff. And then I've got a mimic of the quarter note and dotted eighth patch, but it's just got a lot more modulation on it. Yeah, really I want it to be more for swelly stuff. On the Big Sky, my first bank is just it's just a room verb. You know, sometimes you just need something to kind of taste it up a little bit. And then the next stage up from that is my hall bank. So I've got hall small, big, and huge. Hall big, hall huge. Yeah, so as it sounds, this one's just like something to leave always on. And then if I want to kind of get more into those like ethereal stuff, this is a lot of trail. This would probably be more for like swells. Or razor tone. I've got maybe something crazy turned on. Big endings, big choruses, that kind of thing. And then from there, we go into the cloud settings. Say I much more about that. This is why we all buy the Big Sky. Here's the deal. I've made an oath with myself that I do not go to that one automatically. It's just too easy to sound good, but it's also just overrated. Like, I know some of my favorite songs were like hall reverbs and plate verbs. I think the cloud needs to be used tastefully. It can get really, really like good sounds, but if that's all you rely on, like just be a little bit more. So I use it very strategically. If it's a song that I know has that tone to it, but I love it. I love the breakup in the high end stuff. So, you know, kind of do a little bit more. I mean, this is just, but that's it. That's the sounds. So far, so good. Everything's working well, I guess. And let me just kind of see. I mean, we'll know more tomorrow if I like how it feels on my feet. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. And comment below any questions you have. But keep playing and keep building pedal boards, because I don't know, it's a constant quest for the perfect board, and I don't think we'll ever find it, because people keep coming out with stuff that keeps making other stuff not as good as the new stuff. So, but until then, we can keep, you know, keeping things on, adding things, building on things, and, you know, like the Morning Glory. It's never going anywhere. It's just too good to go anywhere. The Big Sky, that's a classic, you know. There's some things we can change here or there, but keep building, keep playing, have fun, and I hope you like this. Let me know if you have any questions.